much what it would be again to be 21 years old. I mean, viewers out there, I'm talking to you. What would you do if you were 21 years old? What would you tell yourself in hindsight, in retrospect, 2020, no pun intended, your 21-year-old self? Well, I know I would say a lot. I know Magnus would say a lot. What's up, everybody? It's Wellness Week Live. I'm your host, DJ Anthony. That's our co-host there, Magnus, our PhD in biochem. And
hey guys, Anthony.
Today's topic, is what would I tell my 21-year-old self? And biggest regret and biggest accomplishment. And what does it feel like to be 49? You're 49, Magnus. I'm 49.
Yep.
Let's get into it. So, I see a lot of these shows on YouTube where there's a particular guy and he always asks people on the street, like, what would you tell your younger self? Or what's your biggest regret? I was like, you know what? We should do a segment on that too. Like, what was our biggest regret or our biggest accomplishment? Or what does it feel like to, whatever. So 21 years old, Magnus, I guess it's a little bit of a trick question because, you could say, what would you tell your 21-year-old self? And I thought to myself, well, what do you mean? Like, could we impart the knowledge into our 21-year-old brain and then tell ourselves? Or is it just
exactly
or just tell ourselves? And our 21-year-old self ain't going to listen to us. So,
yeah,
so
I would say like keeping your life experience and be 21 again. Could you imagine how crazy that would be?
Yeah, well, it'd be easy. I mean, you would just be, batting 1,000 every day. So I guess that's not. So let's take the other question. So what would you tell your cocky 21-year-old self? If it was your son. So what would you tell your 21-year-old self? In short, what would you say to your 21-year-old Magnus?
So I remember like 21, I was kind of like haven't figured anything out what I wanted to do with life. And that would be probably one thing is just relax, like just because you're 21 doesn't mean that you need to, like, look at it. I mean, we're 49 and we haven't figured out what we want to do anyway. So, yeah. I mean, I think that you will never, like, some people have it from start, other people just keep on testing things here. But what I would say is that you can accomplish way more than you think because again, with life experience and like been through a bunch of things, I mean, you kind of amazed when I look back, at least it's like, well, I mean, I might not be a multi-billionaire or anything like that, but I have accomplished a lot of interesting things in life. What about you?
Yeah, no, you make a good point there, Magnus, about, your life and, you can do the things you set your mind to and whatnot. Yeah, for me, I mean, listen, I could spend 10 hours, right? I think we all could spend 10 hours on what we would tell our 21-year-old self. But off the top of my head, one of the things, no particular order, just one thing, I would say for me, I would tell my 21-year-old self, I'd say, Anthony, don't be so religious. Just take it down a notch. Just turn it down a notch a little bit, Ant. Okay, you're not going to be the Pope. So I was very, very religious growing up. I was brought up very strict Catholic, and I have a tendency to maybe, take things and run, which can be a good thing sometimes, but sometimes it can be a bad thing. So I was very, very religious. I was very hard on myself. Like if I missed one Sunday of church, like, dude, there was a good 8-year span. I never missed a Sunday of church. Never,
wow.
Bro, because, but that's not good in a way, because I would force myself to go to church if I was like puking sick, whatever, because I thought I would get punished by God, this and that. Like I was like, almost past neck deep, mouth deep in it. And anyways, I could point fingers and say it was, my family did this, or, I just, my own psyche went overboard. I mean, ultimately I'm an adult now. It's my responsibility to modulate and, so that's basically what I would tell myself is, Anthony, you don't beat yourself up, because the old joke, Catholic guilt trip,
Yeah.
Like I took everything like I was the worst human because, I came a minute late to church. Oh my God, I'm going to go to hell. Or, I said shit. Oh, I shouldn't have cursed. Oh my God, I'm going to go. Like I was really, I think they call that religiosity actually. So I was just too much. And it kind of put a damper on a lot of my life. Not like I'm not complaining. I mean, but I'm just saying like it was hard, like to just, because I always thought I was being judged by God. I'm going to go to hell. And meanwhile, I don't even jaywalk, but it was just, So I would just tell myself, Anthony, don't be so religious. It's great. Go to church, have faith. Everyone should enjoy their own faith. But Anthony,
let me ask you one thing. I mean, that feels like more than something that you inherited more than like you actually picked and choose yourself, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I could sit here and point fingers at my mommy and my daddy and my genetics and my community and my country and my religion. I mean, at this point, yeah, 49, listen, it's on me, right? Like I got to figure it out. But to your point, yes, as a young boy, I'm whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, 11 years old, 12, 13, 14, yeah. I mean, a lot of it was put on by, I'll just say my family,
but that's the norm. That was your norm back then. And that's what I'm saying is that sometimes, I mean, you don't even know better.
Oh, I didn't. Listen, until I moved out of my house, went to college and met some different people who had different thoughts. I mean, broadens your horizon. And again, don't get me wrong. Look, everybody's faith is beautiful. You're a Catholic, that's beautiful. You're Muslim, that's beautiful. You're Christian, you're a Jew, that's beautiful. You're Hindu, that's beautiful. God bless. I just took it and really kind of went too haywire with it. And that's kind of me a little bit. I guess I can obsess about things that so that's my anxiety and my stress that takes. And again, it has served me well too in many ways. I mean, it motivated me to be successful in business and put myself through college and take care of my health. But the downside is with something like that, it's like
it can backfire a little bit.
Yeah. So, anyways, I would just tell myself to just go easy. Go to church. That's great, but take it down a notch, Ant. It's okay. You're good. You're human. Yeah. So that would be what I would tell my 21-year-old self. Would I listen to myself? Probably not. But anyways, so that's that. I mean, but okay. So let me ask you this, Magnus. So what
can I add something that I would add to?
Throw it in there, Magnus.
I would say work on relationships more. And that's that's something that I learned later on in life. And it's something that I'm still trying to get better at. But relationships are so important in life that is something I think it's also something that a lot of young people kind of take for a given. Yeah. And they don't really understand. It's like having extremely good friends, family connections, whatever it is, it's so important.
Yeah, and we have to nurture that, though. A lot of
100%.
A lot of men and women, we take it for granted. Oh yeah, they should just go. Hey man, if you don't reach out and you don't make an effort, it's like anything else in life, and it ain't gonna come back to you. But no, that's cool. And by the way, we're not giving any medical or psychological advice. Always check with your healthcare professionals. Okay, so I got to get these in. So so Magnus, what's one of your biggest regrets? What's one of your biggest regrets in life?
I would say sticking in school and getting a PhD.
That you shouldn't have, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's funny. That's one of mine too. But anyways.
Yeah, I would think either get more like a broader education or actually go into like the medical field instead.
Yeah.
But again, it was kind of a fair thing too, because it's hard to get in medical school, right? And that was kind of one thing, like, well, I'm not a good student and I can't achieve that and this and that, whatever. Like looking back at it, it's so ridiculous. Of course I could have. I mean, I'm not trying to pat myself on the shoulder, but I mean, I would probably be able to get through medical school.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you. I mean, yeah, of course. Yeah. For me, biggest regret would be, I got some doozies, boy. I mean, woo. Like Frank Sinatra said, regrets. I had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I have a few regrets, and like I said, they're doozies. But yeah, I mean,
don't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you. One of my biggest regrets would be, I mean, I'm just going to piggyback on what you said. I mean, going to college and graduate school for me was one of my biggest regrets. I look back and I'm like, I don't even use my degree. I don't need it. My 21-year-old self would not listen to me, but don't get me wrong. College was great. I enjoyed, the mind-opening, what do you call academic, situation.
Again, both you and I wouldn't be the people that we are today if we didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying regret finationally, like not.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. I have some other regrets, but anyways, but But yeah. So that would be one of, and I don't really beat myself up too much on that one. I do beat myself up on other ones though, that I'm like, you done walked into that one, boy. But anyways, so all right. So biggest accomplishment of your life?
That's actually the same thing, getting a PhD.
Yeah,
so
that's funny.
It's I mean, I definitely see education, and especially when you go into graduate school and things like that, it's definitely a dual-edged sword. Like some people really hit it right, and other people, I wouldn't like me a bit. It's like it wasn't a perfect it wasn't a perfect fit, if you know what I mean. I was able to get through it anyway, but I'm like looking back at it, it's like, dude, that wasn't a smart decision. But I'm also really, really proud of achieving it,
right?
Because it's not like I see myself. I mean, that's a 1%er thing. I mean, like if you look around the world, I mean, they're not like, it's not super common to actually have a PhD degree.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's very, very rare in anything. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, so that wasn't one of my biggest accomplishments. However, it is one of my biggest accomplishments, going to college too, and all that stuff. But I would say for me, the one I picked was starting my own business and having it have the business, succeed through the decades, and I'm still, owning it and still doing well with it. So that would be my greatest accomplishment, is, starting my entertainment business. So,
but looking at, like, if I add something like that, like I think that you really need to have the right personality to be able to do it, and that is just something that, like, it's you.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. It's like when someone says, "Oh, he's a DJ," I can definitely see that when I heard we were talking the first time. And I'm like, yes, this guy definitely, like, I like the New Jersey, New York like thing, and it's like but it's not about fist pumping, but it's just the energy that you bring. And like I always feel like talking to you. It's like you always bring it, and like you get energized by talking. The
adrenaline. Good. Thank you, my man. Thank you, and God bless you, and anyone who looks like you. But So, and I'm still learning in business. I'm still always reading and trying to learn and be better, at whatever at business. Okay, so now this other one is interesting. So, I think you and I are probably going to say the same thing. But what does it feel like, Magnus, to be 49 years old? To tell somebody who's younger or older than you, like, so what does it feel like, Magnus, to be 49?
So one thing that I think is so funny is, like, people, I run into a lot of people when I was your age and like, wait until you're this age. Well, like, first of all, like I'm just a couple of years younger than you, or actually sometimes I'm even older than the people that are saying it to me. So I almost start laughing. And the kind of the cool thing is that I, like, now 49, I feel better in many ways, even we're talking about physical ways, than I did in my 20s, because I was playing football and getting beat up all the time. Now, like, minor aches and pains, but nothing major. Yeah. And I don't eat any like pharmaceuticals or anything like that. I don't have any prescriptions or anything that I have to take. So I, like, knock on wood.
Yeah. Same here. Basically 49 feels great. In many ways, I'm in better shape at 49 than I was at 29. Again, like you, I've been an athlete my whole life, and, I got my bumps and bruises and aches and pains from whatever. But yeah, no, overall, and I would definitely say,
but again, like, looking at it from an athletic perspective or anything like that, you have so much better, like, understanding of the big picture, what is actually more important. And it's like, like how important sleep is, and what we're eating, like things like that. It's not just like macronutrients, it's actually more than that, like the nutrients and all that, and the way we train, the way we, like, do things. It's such a blessing if you view life as like you're never done, that there's always more to learn, and like looking forward and like trying to absorb as much information and experiences as possible.
Right. Well, it's funny when you mentioned that. And you say, when people say to you, "Oh, Magnus, when you're my age, you'll feel this way, that way." I've been hearing that shit since I've been, 15. Okay, when you're 30, Anthony, you'll see. Okay, I feel great. When you're 40, you'll see. Okay, now I'm pushing 50. Like, you know what? People who say that shit, they're the people who, they sit on their couch, they eat bonbons and drink beer and eat cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think so. I think it's granted something catastrophic doesn't happen. A meteor hits you in the head. We are in control of feeling great. So I'm 49. I just got done coaching tennis about an hour ago. I had coached probably like 9 kids. All of them were like, "I'm tired." I'm like, I keep going. I'm 49. You guys are 9 years old. How could you be tired? So I mean, yeah, you take care of yourself. It goes a long way. And I feel great at 49. Again, you get bumps and bruises and whatnot. But anyway, so yeah, it's just funny when people say, "Oh, when you get to my age, yeah, whatever." It's like.
No, yeah, I understand it too. But looking at it also, like I suggest people look back, look at old movie stars or like old movies, and then check out when they actually record, how old they were when they're recording it. Like you look back and people age way quicker before than they do nowadays.
Well, yeah, because of the shitty lifestyles, the soda, the liquor, the processed foods, the sitting, the more sitting, and yeah, of course,
but also like that also shows you that science and the knowledge have definitely grown a lot on how to keep yourself young. That's one of the things that I threw out a short message on my Facebook group. I think it was like yesterday or so, like saying that if like training physical activity was a pill, it would be the most sold and used pharmaceutical in the world.
Right. It's funny. Right. Science and education and medicine has come such a long way. We know so much more about staying healthy and strong and happy. Yet this country is the sickest, most beat up, worn out, on every medication. It's just the irony is amazing. We have so much knowledge at our fingertips that we can make ourselves healthier and happier. And I'm not saying cure everything, but a whole lot. And it's just amazing how we're just the sickest country on earth. I mean, for a lot of it's because of what we eat and sitting and what we drink. It's sad, but you're right. I mean, science has come a long way, but the irony is very stark. Anyways, but anything else you wanted to add, Magnus, before we wrap this up?
No, like really, I think we should do more of these. It's funny. We should also try to, that would be funny, actually go out and asking people or like our viewers, please share, this is super, super like interesting. How do you guys feel? Do you feel better or much worse than 20 years ago? What is your take? Let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Thanks everybody for watching, and share this with a friend who you love or hate, whatever, and check back in and don't hit
subscribe button.
I was about to say don't hit. No, hit it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Come on, people. Thank you, everybody. Check back in soon. Thank you, Magnus. I'm signing us off. 5,
Thanks,
4,
Anthony.
3,